customers who aren't on social media yet, how do you get them involved? And how do you say, okay, we know millennials and we know college students are really into Twitter, they're into Facebook, they're into Instagram, they're into anything that's cutting edge social media. But what about everybody else? How do you address that?
Well,
more for
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it might be kind of lame to say this, but Facebook is still huge, especially among older consumers. You know, that kind of 40 to 55 demographic, that's the fastest growing demographic on Facebook. So
Really?
there's
Wow.
there's a lot of like cooler, shinier, like more fun sometimes platforms out there. I mean, we're talking Twitter, Instagram. I just got on Vine. Like, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Instagram but with video. But like, you know, you got to think about where your customers are at too. And you know, as a wine company, you know, a lot of our customers are, you know, kind of 30, 40, 50. They live out in the suburbs. They have kids. They're not necessarily on the most cutting edge
They're not showing squids
technology. Maybe. They could be. And I don't want to generalize at all, but like, you got to fish where the fish are. And, you know, Facebook is definitely still the broadest network out there. And, you know, there are definitely ways that you can use that to your advantage to communicate with, you know, people of all ages.
Okay.
Facebook does nothing for us, so I'm glad you're having good success with it. It does nothing for us. Instagram is really big for us, but that's the same demographic as Twitter. We have a awesome newsletter, and our open rate is something like 35-40% on our newsletter. I think the average is between 10 and 17%. And I have meticulously built that newsletter up, and that is how I know that I get our older demographic. They're used to being communicated to in that way. And we put signs in our windows. We put, you know, you still need to do all the traditional marketing, and you have to put just as much effort into that, because Twitter is amazing and it's really helped to grow our business, but you can't forget about the people that aren't on Twitter, and they get upset when they feel like you put all your effort into Twitter and they don't want to be on Twitter, but they still want to know about what's going on.
Is there a way to get people on Twitter? Is there a way to get people involved in social media?
Some, but
yeah.
But if, you know, some people just don't want to be on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. They don't want their lives opened up that way, and you have to respect that, I think.
Sure.
If I may say, we still have a paper calendar that we put out, and it's quite a paper calendar, and it's quite lovely because we have, I'm going to say, a horde of people that come in first of every month, and they're like, "Where is the new calendar?" And we'll say, "It's right here, hot off the presses," and we'll have all our information there. And every so often, we'll just put, you know, this is our Twitter handle, this is our, you know, we're on Facebook, Instagram. If you look at our current April-May calendar, it is there, so you should check it out. But it's just a great way, like, you know, we know we're into books, Brookline Booksmith, so we do love paper quite a lot. And we know we'll put it on there too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, for us, one of the other things, like Hedley was saying, is an email.
Yeah.
An email list, sending out newsletters, and we don't really do a newsletter per se, but about different promotions and all kinds of things, announcements, new menu items. We have about, I think, around 55,000 people, and kind of the same open rate, around 35 to 40%, which is pretty good for email databases.
Really good. It's very good.
So we're doing good on email. And yeah, like you were saying, you know, at the end of all those emails, any email we send out has links to our Facebook, our Twitter, and our YouTube. So if people are interested, I don't necessarily think that any company is going to persuade an individual who doesn't want to get Twitter to get Twitter. I don't think someone's going to be like, well, Beloco has a Twitter. I've never wanted one of those, but I think I want to follow because they have burritos and they tweet about them. Like, that's just not going to happen. But also for us, I guess, just because we literally respond to anyone that says the word Beloco on Twitter, besides the tweets that are in Spanish about Cecilia Beloco. If they are on Twitter and they haven't found us on Twitter, if they say Beloco, then at least we find them and we connect, so I guess.